Welcome back to the Slick and Thick Show. I'm Mickey Gall, as always, joined by my co-host G Grande, Gerard Michaels over there. Today we're joined by two beautiful ladies. Right here next to me is my wife, Kimberly Gall. Hey! And over there is Christian's girlfriend, Rhianna.
Yeah!
Woo!
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show, Madam Gooner. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself, Rhianna? Kim's been on the show before. Tell the people what, who you are, what you're about.
Okay, well, my name's Rhianna, like he said. What am I about?
Yeah, what you about?
What you
What you
about?
all
What am
about,
I
girl?
about?
What are you about?
That's
You
a
like
l-
Pilates, I hear. You're big on
yeah.
Pilates?
Yeah, I'm a Legree instructor. It's like kind of like similar to a form of Pilates, to put it in easier terms.
L'Agree. In English, that means the agree.
The Gree.
Something like that.
Founded in 1879 by the Germans. The Gree is the...
He knows the history about it. I was born and raised in Boca to very Brazilian parents.
It seems like there's only two sets of people in Boca, the Brazilians and the Jews.
Yes.
And then all of the people that work for you.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But, that's basically.
So how did you and Christian meet?
We met on Hinge.
Now
Good old
listen,
Hinge.
if you hurt my friend, I swear to God, I'm gonna friggin' lose it.
Yeah,
You're
no.
getting a little too good at that, bro.
My gay voice and female voice is exactly the same.
You dropped off all your manhood inside Kim. That's what happened. She's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. All of what was manly about you is now inside her. She
Yeah.
she has it all.
Yeah, I'm gay now. So
Yeah, you guys just
Is that
swapped.
how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys met on Hinge, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah.
was his pickup line?
He said something about my style, I think.
Oh.
I think something about my outfit
Why
or
do you
something.
think? Just pull it up and read it.
That's a good one.
I
There'd be so
could.
much.
Pull it
There'd be
out
so
I
much.
could.
Read it.
Christian's like, all right, this show's over, guys. So fun. Real funny. Yeah, it was good. It was a good prank. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Hey.
Can you play
The
us out?
show's
Can you
over.
play us out? Pull it out. Pull it out.
Oh, pull it out? You
Yeah,
just want me to put it
yeah,
out?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, let me
Pull
see if I
it
can
out.
find it.
Yeah, while you're finding that, Kim, give us an update on Baby Gall. You are glowing.
Thank you so much.
It's kind of weird. You've only gained weight in your uterus. Nowhere else in your body has gained weight at all. I'm pretty jealous. It also concerns me, Mick. She was telling me what she was eating today, and she's like, "Oh, the baby's definitely hungry today," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's just how I eat every day." So,
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
She's like, I'm having
Are you surprised?
Chipotle with so much rice, so much beans. I was like, yeah, you gotta get your money's worth. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta ask for a heavy
Gotta
scoop.
get them gains.
Come
you
on,
know what
heavy
I'm saying?
scoop. What's this coming
Yeah,
out of? What's
she's
this coming
eating
out of
for
your
two
salary?
over here? Eating for two.
And the baby is like half Latin, so some cravings are more like in that way.
Oh yeah.
So I said Chipotle is Chipotle Day, and we did it.
My baby
Someone-
wants
someone-
plantains. Plantains.
Yeah.
With sour cream.
Yeah.
Plantains with sour cream?
Yeah, you have to try
I
it.
didn't. Of course I do.
Of course, right now, someone call.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
My baby wants Chipotle. So, do
yeah.
you have your hinge ready? Are we ready?
Oh, yeah, I have
let's
it.
pull
I have
up.
it.
Go.
Let's go.
Some
Let's go.
secrets.
He's like shaking in his chair. He said, "Oi," which is hi in Portuguese. I like your dress.
Ah, he's flexing over there.
Look at him.
He's flexing over
Look
there.
at him.
Yeah.
He's flexing over there.
I
Hell
don't
yeah,
know if
Christian,
you know,
what
but
a
I do
wordsmith.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
He's a wordsmith. Now he's throwing combinations over there. Look at this
Caipirinha.
guy. Hell yeah.
Yes.
He
Yes.
starts
Oh,
saying,
playing
he
defense.
starts saying all of
offense.
his R's as H's. He's like,
Yeah.
no, Christian.
But yeah,
Hello,
So he hit you
welcome
with the
to my
oi,
hinge.
he hit me with the oi.
and you were like, that's my guy.
And so he said, I like your dress. I was actually wearing a romper. And I said, it's not a dress, actually. It's a romper.
He used my move. He used my
He
move.
showed that.
What'd he
What do you
say?
mean?
He played dumb to get him to argue with him. My man, high five.
That's
He did it.
smart.
He did it.
That's kinda smart.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
That's kind of
That's
smart.
what's
That's the move.
Yeah.
So that'd,
Yeah.
that'd be like if you said to her, like, I like your straight hair.
Yeah.
And she's like, my hair is curly. And you're like, I got you winning now. Now you win.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right,
he
so
went the
that's
cute route, which I respect. I normally go the aggressive route, and then they get arguing with me.
You'd be like, I hate your dumb dress.
Yeah, exactly.
No wonder.
Something like that. And then
That
yeah.
explains why you're the single one here, I guess, buddy.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, probably, right? But I'm telling you, I've been trying to tell you dudes, I'm telling you on Gerard versus Evil, if you go to the bar and you start kicking game about how pretty they are, they're going to reject you. say something that they're
About
going
how
to
ugly they are.
they're going
And
to
then-
correct you on. There's nothing women like more than being right.
So like,
Give them an opportunity to be right immediately.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got-
Give me an example. Give me an
got
example of
Mr.
an opening
Jersey
line. So
without a
look,
single ab.
listen, give them an example, and then maybe the ladies will be given
Well-
some examples to help some dudes on their game.
It's well documented that every woman is a space racist. So
space racist.
yeah, they're big space racists. So they judge you based on your astrological signs, your
Okay.
astrometries,
Astrologies.
astrologies. You
Yeah.
see, they have to argue with you to be right.
Ah.
See, female energy.
Whoa. You were looking at me like, please help me here.
So yeah, you have a 1 in 12 chance of being wrong. So you go out there like, look at you throwing out that fucking heavy Aries energy over here, and then she'll be like, oh, I'm not an Aries, I'm like, oh really? So-and-so's are normally never this attractive. You're actually pretty good looking for a fucking
Oh, so now
Taurus.
you attract them. On the second one, you're saying
Fucking-
complimenting them.
You're doing fucking jiu-jitsu with their mind, bro. First,
So on the first, you get them to disagree,
That's
and
right.
then the second, and if you nail it, you got that 1 in 12 chance right. They're like, well, I am, and they might be actually kind of be like, damn,
exactly.
or they might think you're weird.
Yeah. Go up to them. And
So you're
give 'em,
kind of
like,
hoping maybe you're
give them
wrong.
like a half compliment and be like, most girls can't pull off this fucking color, but you kind of do though.
Stupid. Well, what would your reactions be if that was something you guys got?
I don't know. I would. It depends also on like the guy himself, like the energy that he gives off. If he gives off desperate energy, no matter what you're gonna say to me, I'm just like not gonna be into it.
Right.
What's desperate energy? What is desperate energy?
Just like,
Oh my God, you're so hot. Let me buy you something.
Like to push in.
yeah, too pushy or like honestly too. This feels a little like effed up to say, but like
Too
almost
nice?
like too nice. Yeah. Yeah, like being nice, of course, is important, but being too nice sometimes kind of just like gives off a little bit
Nice guys finish
desperation.
last, man.
You can see all of our fans that are listening, like go over, like dump things off the table. Like, move your stupid cup, bitch! I'm walking here.
They'll be married in 11 months. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways, right? Before you knew anything about game, before you knew anything about Riz, and you just thought that girl was cute at kickball,
Hi,
what would you
you're
do?
pretty.
What would you do? You go up and be like, wow, you're pretty?
I don't know. I was just
No, you'd
giving
probably
a-
be like, trip her and be like, walk much? And that was love. That was 4th grade love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you got to get that and then see if they fight back. If they fight back, then you know that there's interest there.
Ooh, you know what, dude? How about what Matthew Stafford's wife did? Kind of flipping it here.
boy.
How about Matthew Stafford's wife?
Oh,
what
boy.
she kind of admitted to. I feel bad for her old
So
staff
for
here,
people
man.
that don't know, why don't you tell
we're gonna
the
play
story?
a clip. We're
gonna play a clip.
We got
I
a
don't
clip
know.
to be played. You look up that clip.
Christian
I'll
quit.
talk about it.
He quit.
Yeah.
He's like,
Once we pulled up his hinge, he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here."
Oi, Christian,
He's like,
pull up
"Oi,
a clip.
Peace. It's like adios. How do you say goodbye? in Brazilian?
Obrigado.
That's thank you.
It's ciao.
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 Ciao. Right. Ciao. Christian's like ciao. But so
Pretty sure that's Italian.
it's both.
Ciao.
I think ciao is hi in Italian, isn't it?
Is it like konnichiwa or
Konnichiwa is on the phone, right? Don't you say konnichiwa?
Mushi
on the
mushi.
phone?
Mushi mushi. How did
All
they
right.
say it?
What the fuck was that?
That's you don't say konnichiwa, you say mushi mushi.
Is this your fucking sushi order? Or what you
Mushi
doing?
mushi. How did they say it? Anyway.
I think konnichiwa is how you supposed to answer the phone or something. There's
Mushi
something like that.
mushi.
Is how you answer the phone? Why you keep saying
in
mushi
Japan,
mushi to me?
konnichiwa is hello, like good day in Japanese.
Right.
But mushi mushi is how you answer the phone.
Are you sure?
Yes. And what they want it to be, Graham Bell what did they want it to be? They want it to be like hoy hoy or something like that. You're supposed to answer the phone like go hoy hoy or something like that. Chris.
In English?
Yeah. Like Alexander Graham
Why
Bell.
is there two different greetings in Japanese versus a phone greeting and a personal greeting?
Because sometimes they
We
don't,
just say hello.
because sometimes the Japanese don't get it on the first try. You got to give it to them again.
Got it. That was a World War II joke. That was an Oppenheimer joke, baby. We just watched that movie. Did you get
That's
that?
how that's a good one.
Did you
a
get that?
good-
Because he's
a good
saying
movie.
they dropped 2 bombs.
Yeah.
And it was really devastating to that nation.
Yes.
It was a terrible, could be
It's like a
considered a war
terrible
crime.
joke.
A very terrible. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you understood it. Did you get it, Ray?
No.
You got it now?
Yes.
So Matthew Stafford's wife went on a podcast, and this isn't the first time that she's done it.
What's
Matt-
your first podcast?
No, Matthew Stafford's wife has said some interesting things that you would think would stay in private multiple times, and she's got a little bit of that main character energy. You know what I'm saying?
She's a habitual line stepper.
She's got a little main character energy. She goes on, and she was on a podcast and said that in order to get Matthew's attention in college, she used the term
dated
dated.
backup.
She dated the backup, and the implication being that
She fucked the back.
she fucked the backup, which makes Matthew Stafford. Well, let's talk about it because I got
You
a
want to play
feeling.
the clip first?
Yeah, let's play.
It's
Let's play
queued up. Start
play
from the
clip.
beginning.
Dated the backup to piss him off, which
Oh
worked.
yes,
He was like
that'll do it.
He was the bad boy too, like
Yeah.
ooh, and it upset him. So they lived in the same dorm because athletes lived in the same dorm, and he would see my car there.
How is it that y'all know that men have egos? And
We don't need to hear
We
Stephen
don't
A.
need
Smith.
Stephen
Yeah,
A, But then basically he went out there because you sent it to me. He went out and was like, he's not right for you, blah blah blah,
yeah.
and now they're married.
Now they're married. Now they got kids. Now,
But I know you have a point on. I have a point on it. When you get married, all that shit in the past is dead, boy. Don't be bringing that shit up. Don't be talking about. There's now, nothing.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
yeah, I have a very, very strong opinion on this, but I'd like to hear the ladies' opinion first before I give
Well,
mine.
let's give your. Why don't you give yours? Do you guys have opinions? Yeah, give yours,
Please,
and then let's.
Gerard.
Kim, please, after you.
About the opinion of this girl?
Sure.
Well, I feel like maybe she's trying to give an advice of how to have the guy you like. You know, it's like a step to do it. But at the same time, if you are married and, you know, like Mickey said, this is past, why bring it? Bring
It's disrespectful.
This? And it's not just like a story. It's like a story that you are in that story. You know
Alright.
what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, we are making this story live it again.
Yeah, nobody needs
Right,
to
right.
know.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah,
he
this
probably
was-
doesn't want to relive that
Yeah,
shit.
I mean,
That was
he's
probably a
15
dark
years in
fucking-
the NFL, dude. What are we doing here?
Yeah, but that's why. Like, that's probably something that fucked him up in a way.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
Who's the backup? Wasn't the backup like Bo Cox or something like that? He's probably sitting here going like, you know,
Now his fucking wife.
his
he's
wife's like,
probably
"Oh,
like, "Fuck."
really? You didn't tell me about that." Like, we got
Yeah, what the
kids.
fuck?
What are you talking?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think, Rhianna? When you see that, what do you think?
Well, I mean, even I agree with like any kind of relationship. Also, like a previous relationship I've been in, like I don't really care about your past. Like I didn't even know you back then, so it doesn't really matter. I'm sure when you're married, it's even more like that because it's more like permanent when you're married. So it's like the past doesn't matter. The future.
Are you saying you're
is
gonna
what
break up
matters.
with Christian?
No, I'm just saying that like I don't really care about your past, anything that you've done, because like I'm not like dating the past you. I'm dating the current you and the future you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's really mature, and that's the right way
like
to look
that.
at it. But I
Yeah.
also think you're full of shit. There's no woman that actually doesn't care.
genuinely, like I don't.
genuinely
care.
don't care?
Genuinely don't.
There would
care.
be
If they
nothing-
like if your past comes to your present, that's a problem.
Yeah,
No,
if you're
big time.
Agreed.
still
Yeah.
talking like to like someone from your past, or it's like becomes an issue and like you still have contact, that's one thing. But like if it's in the past, like I genuinely like.
Yeah,
really don't care.
I don't trust people that like say, "Oh, I have a great relationship with my ex." I'm like, why? Why? Why are you like?
Yeah.
Yeah, who? No, you're not allowed to have a good relationship. They're gone. They're dead. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? You
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have a good relationship. Like,
Agreed. Dead.
well, yeah, like, oh, great, cool. So you're keeping your plan B good and warm just in case this doesn't work out. Like, fuck out of here. No.
Yeah.
Like they fell off a cliff. That's how it has to be.
Yeah.
And as
It's like
far
in
as-
that movie. Oh, she died.
Oh yeah,
She
no,
died.
She did.
She
Yeah,
died. Yeah.
Happy Gilmore or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Well, hey, what happened to
what-
that nice girlfriend of yours?
Yeah,
She's
she's
dead.
dead.
She fell off a cliff. She's dead.
Why you think that have like the plan B, like the option to go back again, that exists?
Well, there's different reasons, right? So there's some people who are self-destructive, and there's some people like I believe like a guy like Bill Clinton, who always wins, always gets what he wants. Like he could have done anything that he wanted to anywhere on earth. He banged the intern in the office where they work at. Like he wanted to get caught on a certain level deep down inside because he wants to see if he can get away with it. you know, and there's those type of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other people where there's a power thing and a vulnerability thing. And this is what I think this is. This is very clearly her, like, taking the power back. Like, oh, no, I wasn't some bimbo that got the #1 draft pick. Like, no, I manipulated him. I'm the winner here. Matt's the loser. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, you had to do that to get Matt Stafford? The guy was the #1 overall pick in the draft.
So you think it's the
Georgia,
same
Super
idea?
Bowl winning quarterback.
You still gonna think the same if it's the boy
I
or
think
the
it's
man
I think
who
it's
do
power
that?
dynamics. I think, you know, I hear that, and I don't know anything about them, but I've heard some other things you said, and I say that's not a healthy relationship that they're in. That's a very competitive relationship. And if you're competing in a I personally, the real reason I'm single, man, I really feel like this world is so violent and antagonistic, and every day I wake up, it's a battle. It's a battle to get what I want out of this world. It's a battle in business. It's a battle to achieve to the level that I want to achieve at. And when I come home, it has to be peace. I can't fight a battle at home. It has to be like base. It has to be, you know. And in the other relationships where it started getting very competitive, and it was like, look, I only know one way to compete, and that's to win. And if you want to compete, we'll compete. But I don't think you're gonna like the competitive side of me. Like you have to, like that. You have to nurture me, and I'll nurture you. If you compete with me, I'll compete with you. And then that then becomes, you know, a very toxic environment. You know, and I think I look at something like that, and I'm like, now I can't trust. Like, how can you not trust your wife? Like, hey, babe, I'm doing a podcast today. Okay, don't say anything fucking stupid that I'm gonna have to hear about in the locker room for the next 10 years. Like, you know, please.
Yeah.
Like, I can't trust you to be on a podcast to be like, no, I love my husband. He's great. I'm very lucky to have him. No, it's, you know, I had to fuck his back up to get him, you know, to get him back on fucking track here. And it's like, okay, now Matt Stafford's got to walk into a room of 50 of the most alpha male human beings on earth and look them all in the eye and be like, hey, buddy, you know, he's going to go into a meeting room with his back up and be like, oh, don't tell Matt's wife. Now he's got to deal with that shit because you had to be the bad bitch on a podcast.
Yeah, that's a tough look. Tough look.
Tough look.
Yeah. You know, I'm on the podcast with Gerard. Every time I go, my wife's like, don't say anything stupid.
No, es stupido.
So what advice do you guys have for our listeners who I kind of like that, how we took that little path early. I think we go down that line a little bit. Maybe like giving some good, like you were saying, the energy, not to have that desperate energy.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly, what do you think? What do you think?
You
Is
know,
it either good energy to exude?
The spirit energy is not just like in relationships, it's in everything. If you're overacting, like if you want to have a job and you are overacting that you are too good or whatever, you know? So I feel like it's very basic. It's nothing like, how can I say it?
Remember that was in Chaz's acting class. He was saying when you go and like audition, he's like, actually don't give a fuck about what they think. Don't give a fuck about what they think. Because if you're nervous and you're like, you make it really like you're desperate and you want that part, you're probably not going to get it. And it's like you're on the wrong mindset. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, if you want something like too much and you're too desperate to get it, it's just going to go further away from you.
It's gross, yeah.
But you can't really fake that. Like, you know, so there's a great saying, and I you know, I'm hearing it a lot lately. I don't know who came up with it, but it's the you know, the results you want are in the work you're not doing, right? So if you're out at the bar and you're feeling desperate and, you know, or even if you're not, let's say you don't know you're desperate, but you're not getting the results that you want, right? Your dating life isn't what you want it to be. Your work life isn't what you want it to be. Take an account of yourself and say, all right, like what exactly is it? What, like steel man your own argument. Okay, what is it that they don't like about me? Am I not in good enough shape? Am I not making enough money? Do I smell bad? Do I need new hair? Whatever it is, right? Take an account of yourself and then say, look, man,
You think someone could tell if they smell bad?
No, I don't.
I think some people have like a natural bad smell. I think if you could like have like body odor, like somebody'd be like, oh man, I don't smell good right now. Like I think, you know what I mean, certain times, but I think some people can just like exude like a smell that's like just, they're around it all the time.
Well, how about this? Assume you don't smell great. And take you know, improve your hygiene a little bit. You know, take better showers, longer showers. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't keep going back to the same place, doing the same things, expecting different results. Thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna get lucky. No, like, dude, don't go to the bar for 90 days. Go to the gym and then go to the bar and see what's different. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
Like, don't like.
I like that.
In this job that you're not feeling respected in, say, okay, why? And then take 180 days, learn a new skill, do something after, right? You know, so like, it's kind of this idea where you can internalize what's happening and improve, as opposed to internalize what's happening and have it, you know, just destroy your confidence or to, you know, create a void or a depression where it's like, all right, man, look, I'm not where I need to be, but it's okay. In 90 days, I can be, you know? And that's, you know, that's that concept of like, you know, the results you want are in the work you're not doing, right? So if you're throwing off that desperate energy, I almost wish like girls, instead of being like girls, I feel like don't know how to handle somebody that they're not attracted to. Like
maybe because we don't, like, girls, they don't want to hurt or they don't want to look like mean.
Yeah, and it's also
know?
sometimes dangerous to like reject guys.
Exactly.
Is it really?
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
that's
yeah.
something to talk
They
about.
can follow
Yeah.
you. They can, like, to your house and
I hear
being
crazy
around there.
stories like on the news all the time. Like if you reject a
Exactly.
guy, you don't know. Sometimes, yeah, like you said, they can follow you to your car or follow you home. You don't know if they're armed. You don't know. A lot of more times than not, most guys are bigger than me, and like if a guy were to jump me, like I couldn't really. You could probably do great. You could probably protect yourself.
hope
but
so.
but me, like if a guy is gonna attack me, like there's no really way that I'm gonna win.
A Pilates thing.
Yeah, gotta just engage my core and just
Still holding.
but yeah, but it comes down to a lot, like it's like scary to like just be like no to a guy. So it's always just like, yeah, like no, you can just like make up like I have a boyfriend, and they're still persistent, and it's like sometimes you want to literally be like F off, but like
But yeah, if
Does
he
your
hauls
boyfriend
off and,
bench
bench
400
hits you
pounds?
like that
Then
dude
you're
hit,
single.
if he hauls off and hits you like that dude did to Snooki on the boardwalk, that's no bueno. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? People
Exactly.
be doing that. These
Yeah.
fucking assholes.
Yeah, especially when guys are drunk. Like sometimes some men, when they get drunk, they get a little aggressive and like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, and that's in clubs. You can find out, like, crazy guys everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of what you were saying before, when you were like kind of talking about doing a self-assessment,
Mhm.
I heard this thing Jordan Peterson was talking about. I'm gonna play it in the microphone here. Shit, one second, I'm gonna start it over.
Sit on your bed one day and ask yourself, what remarkably stupid things am I doing on a regular basis to absolutely screw up my life? And if you actually ask that question, but you have to want to know the answer, right? Because that's actually what asking the question means. It doesn't mean just mouthing the words. It means you have to decide that you want to know. You'll figure that's out so fast it'll make your hair curl. Sit on your bed one day and
Isn't that a good thing? Like just a self-assessment, whether it's about dating or just anything going on in your life. Like it's hard. I think it's hard for a lot of people to be brutally honest with themselves. I think you can put up kind of things and lie to yourself. Like, it's not just about dating, just about anything in life.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of an important self-assessment, to kind of check yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't know how to. Like, people just don't know how to self-assess. And then they'll take that and they'll manifest it as self-hatred. It's like, okay, I'm a piece of shit, fuck it. Like, and instead of saying, all right, I'm a piece of shit now, but I don't always have to be, right? They'll be like, well, whatever, and take it to a whole nother level of self-destruction. Like, whatever, I'm a piece of shit. Why not get an 8-ball and let's go fucking drive out to the desert? Like I don't give a shit, Like, sometimes your circle, like, that's where you know who your kind of like real friends, your real family are, when they're able to be like, bro, this is not working out. You know what I mean? And you have to be able to take that, and that's a very difficult conversation to have when somebody's like, look, I love you, but you're fucking up. And I don't know if you recognize it or you realize it, but like, whatever it is, you're behind on your bills, you fucking gained a lot of weight, you're losing too much weight. Like, we all zig and zag in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always times where we're above and below. And this fucking life is hard, which, to circle back to this Matt Stafford thing, is like, that's why I don't need to be parrying away shots from my wife, dude. Like, I'm a big believer in praise publicly, criticize privately. I'm a very, very big believer. Only the people that you love. There's only very certain, small group of people that you need to protect that way. But there's just there's no benefit to letting the world into our like there has to, especially when you're a public person, there has to be something that's just for us, right? There has to be something that we just know. Like the world didn't need to know that shit.
Yeah, for sure. No, she's speaking out of school. I think it's disrespectful to her husband, and like I'm sure he's dealing with this shit now. Like I hope he can just like kind of like let it roll off his shoulder. And maybe this isn't. You said she has a history of this kind of behavior.
She wants to be more famous than she is. I'll put it that way. And I think her desire for notoriety outweighs her desire to, this may not
honor
be the right way.
Man.
Yeah, protect her man.
How would you feel, since you're married, how would you feel as a husband if your wife went on TV and said something like that?
Yeah, I'd be like mortified.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd suck.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
luckily I'm Kimberly's first, last, and everything, so it's
that's the only thing that matters. Yeah. There's some people that are okay with that sort of shit too. I don't know Matt Stafford. Maybe there's swingers. I don't know. Like there's so many more swingers in this world than I ever would have thought that there were. There's so many swingers. My God.
Especially in Delray.
Especially in Florida. It's insane. You heard of swingers? There was like a swingers club in Nashville that I had heard about. Like you see things in like movies. It's kind of like it exists, but you think it's like this small. Then you come down to Florida and it's like everybody's a fucking swinger.
I don't know how people do that. I don't get I think also like the people who are like cuckolds, there's got to be something like fucked up in their brain, right? Like, cause that's like most people's like worst nightmare.
Most people,
right?
Most people.
What's up with that?
Yeah, listen. We're not live, right? I mean, this conversation is going in a very direct place to somebody that we all know and you know very well. Do we want to bring them up?
Yes. Wait, are we paused right now?
We can be.
No, we're not paused, but we're not live.
Pause.
Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Who?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, Mark?
Huh?
Mark?
Oh no, I was thinking Ian Gary.
What do you mean? No, it's not. That's not real. That's all just people making shit up.
The cuckold thing?
Yeah.
Well, Rich. You don't think Rich is?
No, I don't think Rich is.
They live together though, right?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
I don't know.
We'll cut all this out.
All right.
Because I don't give a shit one way or another, but it's your contemporary.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, I could diffuse it like I just did there, but not fucking for just
Yeah. That whole thing is fucking weird though, man. The way they went about everything is like.
It went about everything?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She's kind of in that Matt Stafford's wife thing where it's like she's too fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all.
All right.
You know
Moving on.
I know. I'm with you. I'm with you on that part. I wouldn't want. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about? So you're dating a guy that's your age. You're marrying a guy who's basically your age. What do you think about like Bill Belichick and these guys and Leo DiCaprio? What do you think about these girls? Do you think the guys are the predator when they're going after girls that are 50 years younger than them, or do you think the girls are the predator catching themselves a rich older dude?
It's like a mixed, because when I was like younger, some of these old guys they are like behind you, but it usually happens. It's something to
that like
think
old
about.
Guys are trying like kind of prey on younger girls.
For sure.
Was it prey on younger girls, or like you're sitting here? What do they say? Women mature mentally and emotionally. What do they say? Like 24, and guys aren't mentally or emotionally mature until like 33 or something like that. So, as far as like maturity is concerned, it's kind of set up this way in our society, right? Because it takes a guy into his 30s to become financially stable and emotionally mature, and then when you're a guy, you don't look at a 25-year-old woman and go, ew, gross, I can't wait till she's 40. Like, I think it's kind of set up that way. it's kind of set up, the way our society's set up is that in order for the man to be the provider, he needs to have a little bit of runway, you know, because he can't really, a 23-year-old guy can't really compete financially with a 40-year-old guy most times, right? So if a woman is looking to settle down and looking for stability, she probably has to find somebody older in today's world, you know, unless you guys are both on the same page that you're going to grow together and all this other stuff. I'm always impressed with the people that were like high school sweethearts and stuff, and like they stayed together their whole life. And it's like you met somebody at 14, you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Done.
Yeah, it's good with me. I'm like, you know, I'm impressed with it. I'm like, wow, that's really, you imagine the fights that they've had, the patience that they have with each other, you know, the discipline that they have. Those are the real ones, man, right? Those people that they found someone early on and they're just sticking it out. Like my mom and dad met when my dad was, I think, 18 and my mom was 16.
Yeah, so that's basically what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're still together.
They're together.
Now.
It's a beautiful thing.
Now, it wasn't always great,
Sure.
but, you know, they stuck it out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's pretty good, man. You get to spend your life with somebody. It's a pretty cool thing.
That was cool. My grandfather, he was 31 or 32 when he met and married my grandmother. She was like 23. But in that day and age, most people were like, you know, 18, 19,
Yeah.
getting married, doing the whole thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, back then, if your grandfather was still single at 31, everybody was like, was he gay?
Yeah, he was. I don't think he had that problem. He was off at. He had maybe the opposite problem. He was off at He was Air
old Frank
Force.
Sinatra.
He was an Air Force pilot, and he was like. They found out he was like a really good athlete. So instead of having him fight in the war, they have him fly into different towns and go play like basketball or baseball on like that different like bases like on the Air Force team. And then I think he'd knock over some bars, and as my dad said, he was a little bit of a playboy. And then he'd go fly his plane into like the next spot and go do the same thing.
Basically,
so I think he was like winning his. Yeah, he was living his fucking 20s,
I think
unlike
that's
a lot
known
of
as a
people
CAD.
in that day.
Is that
you know
a
what I
CAD
mean?
back then? They call that a CAD. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what my dad actually knows, but I think he was a little bit of a playboy at that time.
A cur. you know
funny.
what cur means? That was like the
No.
bad word of the 1800s. Like you cur. You know what it means?
No, what does it mean?
It just means dog.
You have your finger on that bleep button right there. Next time you said that, I'll see it.
It's something we are weird with words that end in R. Like cur. Like it's anything with ending in an R. It's like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a weird. Yeah.
Terrible.
Anyway.
Disgusting.
Gross. What are you doing?
So I want the ladies to give some advice to the dudes out there. You have to get some advice from these fine ladies right here.
Mm-hmm.
How these guys can pick themselves up a little honey bun. Any advice? Kimberly Ray? What y'all got?
Join jujitsu.
That worked for me and Christian.
Shoot. I'm trying to think.
See, they're just gonna withhold all the
I think-
information, let you guys figure it out for your damn self.
Exactly.
Sorry, boys, I'm trying.
Step 1, be a hot Latina. Step 2.
Well,
What's
I feel like the emotional, emotional intelligence is a really important part of it. Like when you know what you want and, you know, like how you see in your future or like things you want. You want to like your goals and more stuff. And if that goal or those goals like match with the person you would like to be together, and then you know, we usually are very egocentric. Like we want. So we are expecting the other person have everything we want and be like, you know, perfect for us. But you have maybe stop a little bit and think about what do you have to offer.
I think that's really interesting what you said about goals, because this could be a way a guy could kind of flip it on the woman, because a lot of times guys will go out and they're like trying to impress the girl, like, yeah, I make this much money, I do this, I have this car, I blah blah blah, I have blah blah, you know what I mean? Kind of bragging. They can kind of be like, hey, so I'm trying to like, you know, I'm trying to do this, and this. This is what I want out of life. What do you want out of life? And let's see if our goals align. Otherwise, what are we wasting our time for?
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
That's
Like you,
much
like that,
better.
like you can kind of be like, look, this is what I'm trying to do. What are you trying to do? Because if I don't like what you're trying to do, I'm good, and I'll save you the time. You know what I mean? So, and that kind of definitely puts off that not trying to be desperate, but also is like real shit. Like you can actually kind of, you know, figure out if you guys align. If they're like, nah, I'm just trying to hang out and whatever, and like, all right, so aren't driven in any way. Well, that, you know, that wouldn't make a good partner, wife, mother, whatever you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it shows that the person like they know what they want, and that's a very attractive quality.
What you want.
Knowing what you want. And like you said, I hate the whole, like, if I'm on a date with a guy and he's just like, oh, yeah, like, I just got in my Porsche and I just just went to my nice house right on the, I don't get impressed by that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you grew up in Boca.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think people that have money, they don't have the necessity to do that. You know,
like people who are actual,
Yeah.
They don't need. Some people do that to to fill their own ego.
Like a card of presentation. This is what I am.
Well, this
I'm
is
like a bill.
That's so. This is my whole thing with like sugar babies and like girls that expect to be like, you know, financially.
But they are expecting something. That's where we going. So if a girl is expecting like, oh, I want to travel, I want a car, you know. Mm-hmm. She understands where she's going.
Yeah, but this is where they screw up, and I I disagree with Candace about this. We've talked about this on Canceled Weekly. If you're gonna put a price on something that is priceless, there's a secondary market that people don't understand. Like, okay, now this isn't something, you're not appealing to my heart anymore. You're appealing to my head. I'm gonna do a cost value and a cost benefit evaluation on this. And I love you at 25. You look incredible. You provide me with these things that I want. You're the trophy when I walk in. Everybody's heads turn. Now you're 30, 31. You've become accustomed to a lifestyle. I can still go get another 25-year-old sugar baby. Why would I? Like, the second you take a car off the lot, it loses half its value. You know, does what I'm saying make sense?
I mean, that's why everybody says like the whole Leonardo DiCaprio thing.
He trades him in at 25,
yeah,
right?
because that's when the woman's frontal lobe develops at 25. So usually, I'm assuming the girls when they turn 25, they're like, okay, like this is what I want. This, like, they just turn more into like a woman, I would say. And then he's just like,
not just a girl looking to have fun with him.
Yeah, and then he's like, nah, you're too much for me. Like, I'm gonna go find myself a new, younger, dumber version of you.
Word is, these girls may all be beards too. So.
Ooh.
Oh, I heard Leo puts when he fucks, he puts headphones in, plays like music and like plays music and fucks to the music that's just going on in his head, like headphones.
He doesn't even care about.
He doesn't care about the sounds or the talking or none of that.
It's just dudes moaning in the headphones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh, dude.
He's closing his eyes like. Oh, I got something. I think an important way to see if you guys like kind of align and is kind of like if you guys can like talk and you enjoy talking to that person, because you were saying like, you know, oh, you like them when they're young and this, but like, you know, we're all gonna age, and you know, so if you like that person, like really like them, like talking to them, enjoy it, and like you like if you're genuinely like best friends, like that person's your best friend, that's when I think you have a good match. If you're young and like you're just like, yeah, she annoys the shit out of me, but she's hot and like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like you're just using that girl to fucking masturbate, basically.
Well, that girl is,
like you said, a trophy.
That girl is your Porsche. That girl is, so like you're walking around the country club with your hot young girl, and all the boys are like, oh,
look at you, yeah. It's just like a ego thing.
It's a social signal, like nothing else. It's like she's less expensive than a Rolex,
right?
You know, and it's jewelry for dudes at that point, you know. And look, maybe there's something to that. Good for them. That guy likes the way he feels.
I don't think it's.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like like relationships like that. It's almost like a transactional thing.
Oh, very much so.
Like, and a younger woman is dating an older man with money because he's an older man with money, and he's dating this younger woman because she's pretty, she's hot, she makes him look good, she looks good. So it's both like they're both getting something out of it.
This is the craziest thing about Del Rey. There's nobody 30 in Del Rey. Everybody's in their 20s or in their 50s or 60s. I don't understand. Like it's the most obvious and transparent open market sugar baby mall in America. Like if you go out in Del Rey, you guys are nightlife guys, but you go out in Del Rey, you go down Atlantic, and we go out and the dudes will be looking at us like, "What are you doing here, bro? You're too young. Get out of here. Get out of here." You know?
Oh, like the 50-year-olds?
Yeah, they're like, "What are you doing here, bro?" You know?
Didn't you say you went to a place where it was like there's only people like 50 or older men, and there was like only like young girls.
It's most of Delray.
It's most of
But there
the
was a
Ave, yeah.
particular spot you were talking
well,
about.
that's in Fort Lauderdale. That's where I met OJ. Was YOLO.
Okay.
And those
okay.
guys were literally looking at us in YOLO, going like, "What are you doing here?" And honestly, you know who liked that place? Allie liked that place a lot, and I was like, "Oh, that makes all the sense in the world. This makes all the sense in the world."
Which alley? Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
taller one?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Love that place.
All right.
And I'm like, okay, like that's an open air trade market. That's like a sugar baby flea market, man.
Yeah.
And the guys, they're exactly who they show up with the Robert Graham shirts, the ugly ass Robert Graham shirts where they flip the collar.
So you see a
And
watch.
the crazy patterns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that shirt is hideous, and it's just walking around going, I got a $500 shirt on. You know,
Yeah.
and then they got their
Wow.
they've got their totally not colored hair at all. Like, I look at these dudes and I'm like, man, like that's what I don't want to be. I don't
Yeah.
want to be that dude at 60 going to YOLO. You know what I mean? Like, go home to your wife and kids, bro. Like, go home, bro. Like, go play with your children. That is so sad. And some of these guys love it. You know, good for them. But like,
I feel like and I don't know, but I feel like there's probably kind of like what you're saying. There's probably like a little bit of an emptiness there. There's
our
a hole
whole
they're trying to fill.
generation was told not to get married, don't have kids, like it's the worst thing in the world. And then I
Yeah.
think our generation and the generation underneath us are going to turn 50 and 60, and it's going to be the saddest, loneliest last. And we're all going to live to be 120 now with Neuralink, and so you're going to be alone for the last 60 years of your life with your old ass wrinkled balls and your saggy titties, thinking like, oh well, at least I didn't settle down in my 20s. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, it's going to be brutal, man. It's going to be brutal. Not me though. I'm gonna get a bitch. I do think about that shit though, man. I'm like, dude, I'm starting to do the math in my head, man. Like, man,
Do you feel urgency about that?
I feel urgency now. We talked about this. I never thought I wanted to have kids. I never did. And then
You never thought you wanted to have kids.
I never did. Because
So I remember you saying, I think on one of the Chaz Palminteri episodes,
did.
I think you said like, I want kids but not a wife.
yeah, that was for the longest time.
That's not. I don't think you want to be doing that fucking co-parenting kind of thing. Or what? You're gonna like pay someone to like inseminate and then
Well, I don't know.
keep the kids. You get out of here.
I always kind of thought maybe I'd do like one of those Elon Musk things where he just has like, you know, women at a compound. They all have like 6 kids each. You know, like.
Is that what he's got going on?
He's got something going on, man. He just had another kid. He's got like 12, 13 kids. He can afford them.
Yeah.
You know, but
Me and Castles are gonna be shooting for about that many. What you say, Mama Castles? I know we don't have
12,
this
13?
we don't
Sounds
have
like
this
a
first
big
one
number.
quite on the way.
12,
We don't have this
13.
first one quite on the way. I like to count my chickens before they hatch. I think I'm
Wow.
I'm going for about I want a nice brood.
I got a feeling
No,
it's a lot more fun for you to do it than it is for her. What do you think? 6, 7, 8, 9?
What do you think, baby? What do you think? Like we're gonna
You'll
get
start with
2
3?
basketball teams, right?
No,
Are we starting five? No, I'm fucking
Hey,
obviously
my
kidding.
dad was
you know
my
that.
dad was one of 7. My mom's one of 8. That's the
My-
way it was back in the day.
My dad was a family of 16. My mom's a family of
Whoa!
7. Do you want to
Damn.
hear my dad's
Same mom, same
family?
mom.
No, so
Okay.
this is where it gets juicy.
Oh, let's go.
I was getting
so
juicy.
it's getting juicy. So my dad,
Like the Gracies here.
it's crazy. So my dad's mom, so like my biological grandma, she had 13 kids, I believe. She died due to like birth complications after the 13th child.
Wow.
He married her sister and had 3 more kids.
That's what she
Whoa.
would have wanted.
I mean, so 3
Whoa.
of his siblings are also his cousins. But it's also like way back in like the 50s, 40s in Brazil. They had a huge farm. They lived in the middle of nowhere. So they literally had kids to work on the farm.
Right. And
So
back in
it's
the old
like-
days, it was something like that where if your brother died, you like would take like his wife would then be like, and that's even if you had like a wife or something, right?
I'm not sure, but like it makes, I mean, now it's a little crazy, but like it makes sense to a degree because it's like, you know, back then men didn't really like take care of their family. They were like the providers solely, like they would just work.
Oh, you're
make
saying
money.
not like nurturing them, like just
not as
just,
much. So like he needed a woman
just
to
a
take care
financial
of his
provider?
kids. Yeah, exactly. So like the quickest thing I guess he could find is like her sister knew the kids, knew the family kind of dynamic.
But
how
I'm
it
telling you, there's
flowed,
something
but,
like ancient about that. Do you know about it, G?
Yeah,
What
no,
I'm talking about?
same thing in Irish and Scotch-Irish culture. It's the same thing. Yeah, but the
And in the Biden families.
big time in the Biden families.
Right?
Yeah,
And
well they
Hunter
are.
Biden
They are.
picked up his dead brother's wife.
Yep.
They, like,
Got her addicted to crack.
That's not really taking care of her there.
Wow.
He kind of did that a little.
They were both mourning. They were both mourning.
Yeah.
And nothing, if anybody knows anything, nothing gets you over the death of a loved one like crack cocaine and loaded guns.
And heroin.
Huh?
And heroin.
Heroin?
Heroin.
I like that.
And did you see that video of Homeboy dragging? So they had that P. Diddy and Cassie thing where he was like dragging her in the hotel and like kicking her. And there was something where Hunter Biden's running naked through a hotel and is grabbing a girl and dragging her back by her feet.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, she's a Ukrainian hooker though, so she's not a real human, so it's fine.
Oh, I see why they want all the money to go to Ukraine.
He's got a lot of money.
You got some debts to pay.
Yeah, so my dad's gonna be mad. Oh my god.
Get back here.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Well, I don't understand women that stay with guys that hit them. That I don't get. I don't get, like, any physical violence towards you should be the reddest of red flags. I don't know why women stay with those guys and go back to those guys. That I don't get. You know, and the brother in me gets, like, even when it's not my sisters and I see someone get, like, real violent with somebody, I'm like, Especially if you're doing that in public. If I can see you, like, screaming at her or something like that, I can't imagine what goes on in private.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost like a psychological thing, though, that these men do to these women who, like, men that abuse women. They just, like, make you feel that, like, you don't have anywhere else to go. Like, this is, like, they, like, manipulate them so much and, like, brainwash them so much that they feel like they can't escape.
Has this happened to you?
No, it hasn't.
Oh.
But, like, I just have heard stories and, like, I've seen, like,
it's like
documentaries
that,
and stuff like that.
it's that
but
cliche where they're like, I hit you because I love you so much, baby.
Why you make me do this to
I
you?
wish you wouldn't
Exactly.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
exactly.
ready. Look at those knocks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is being single, is being alone. I guess if you're a mother, right, and you got, what are you gonna do? You're gonna pick up the kids. You're gonna leave. You've got a joint bank account. It's not great. I mean, how do you maintain that autonomy so that you're never really in that place, you know? Or you just trust.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing I would feel like how when you were talking about you before with like the wanting kids but not necessarily wanting a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that just seems like.
Do you still thinking that way? Like you just want kids, not wife?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I think I jumped from relationship to relationship to relationship for a long time, and now I've been single for a while, and I just think I have a much better understanding and appreciation for the good things that I took for granted in those relationships now, that I'll, that in the next relationship or in a relationship after that. But
so maybe this is a little bit personal, but like all your relationships,
Mm-hmm.
they finish in the same way or they have the same problems?
Yeah, sure. Me. I'm the only I'm the only consistent factor in all of them, right? And
So it's a pattern that you have to cut, maybe.
yeah, I think so.
Then maybe you can have a wife without think about like all the pressure or the tiredness that you're gonna feel on your shoulders of have a wife. Maybe you have like an idea of a wife, but you don't know. Maybe your wife can help you to jump to the place where you're looking for.
Yeah, maybe. Haven't found the girl that added that value as opposed to subtracting.
Never.
No, I did
Okay.
for sure. But recently, I would say.
Recently you found that.
No, recently I haven't.
Right.
Because I know what it looks like, and I know what it feels like to be supported and loved and all this other thing, and and I took it for granted for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wasn't, I wasn't in a place where I could take advantage of it. I was in a very bad place in my own self. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you can start since zero again.
of course. Yeah, I don't. The only stress I feel personally is my parents are getting older, and I want my parents to see their grandkids.
You want them to have the grandkids
Yeah,
and be able
and then
to.
I don't want to
yeah.
be throwing batting practice at 70 years old.
Right.
That I don't. But also, I don't feel like any sort of like rush, and I'm not gonna compromise my standards or any of that shit. Like it's like, oh, I gotta have a kid. Like, nah, man. But my lifestyle is not really conducive to the tradition. I'll give you a perfect example. All right, and this is me. I'm fucked up. I know this.
What's the name? I have baby brain right now.
That's a real thing, huh? Baby brain?
Yes.
Oh, it's a real thing?
No, for real.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a short Alzheimer. You're thinking something and you just forget
The
it.
baby's just sucking the brain waves
Give
up?
it to me.
Sucking up that wisdom.
Oh, man.
This is like an advice for the guys too, you know?
Sure. But for me, like, I realize now what all love really is. When you get through all of, like, you know, the Disney version and the butterflies and the Cloud9 and all this other stuff, love is just patience. It's the willingness to do things for other people that you won't do for anybody else. That's what true love really is. It's like, dude, I don't want to do this, but for you, I will. And for nobody else in the world, anybody else in the world, you would tell them to F off. Be like, no. But for them, I will. You know what I mean? I'll be patient. I'll be understanding. You give grace. That is, for me, the true application of love, right? And you know when that's going away because you lose your patience for that person. You know you're falling out of love when that phone rings and instead of being like, oh, baby, you're like, what the fuck does she want? Like, that's like the first internalized red flag, right? I cannot stand small talk. Talk for a living. Like, I don't want to text you, hey, how's your day? I don't want you to text me, hey, how's your day? I don't care at all. If you had something interesting to tell me, you should be like,
what you care about?
Huh?
What you care about?
Dude, like, to me, it's the laziest shit. Like, it feels like now
I feel like if
you're
you
my
really
boss.
if you really liked the chick, you'd want to hear how her day was.
Nope.
Yeah,
No?
you would.
Not at
I
all.
feel like when you really like someone, it's like you do care. Yeah, like you do care about
Not
like,
a
what
little
they
bit.
did or like small
Don't
talk.
give a shit
That's not true.
at all. Can't
not
stand
true.
it. No, I'm telling you, it's me. I hate it.
Yeah.
It could be somebody that how many times have I ever asked you how your day was?
Yeah, we don't really ask that.
I don't give a shit. I feel like if there was something
You
interesting
don't
about
care
your
about
day,
how my day was?
not at all. I feel like if there was something
That's
interesting,
a really rude thing, Gerard.
You are
There you go.
so cold.
don't care. Am I the only one? I feel like if there was something interesting, you'd hit me up and be like, gee, you'll never guess what happened. I'll be like, I'm in. What
But also,
do we got?
some people like when you ask them without you having to tell them. You know,
Yeah.
shows that.
Yeah,
you care.
G, I like when you ask.
So I'm the single guy because I'm not going to ask. If there was something interesting, like, so then meet me halfway. Why don't you send me a cool meme? Like, I've never once gotten a nude sent in my life and been like, ew, like, oh, wow, she's thinking of me. Like that. Send nudes, man. Send a meme.
What?
Like, communicate on my level.
What
Like,
say
you know,
over there, Christian? You got your microphone not working?
I'm just saying. Look, if you want me to be excited to interact with you, how about you put a little bit of effort in? How was your day? Good. What'd you do? Oh, you know, I went to work, then I went to the gym. Oh, cool. The same thing you do every fucking day. And let me hear about how your boss is a dick. Now let's talk about that girl you can't
it's
stand.
gotta be more, you gotta find yourself a more
Done.
interesting girl, man.
Well, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people listening to this going, that sounds like me. That sounds like what I do.
Maybe
Well, see.
not everyone has the same way to, the direction for relationships. You work in a way, and that's it.
Yeah, but it's very difficult because I travel a lot and I'm away a lot. So I think women want to know that they're being thought of, and women want to know that they're being,
Yeah, and if you travel a lot, you have to put like even more of an extra effort because you're not there.
correct.
Christian, did me or Gerard ever give you any good information for dating? You want to share it with the
Let me
audience before we
listen
go?
there.
He doesn't have a microphone.
Oh, it's
Oh.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
He's
shame.
taking it to the grave.
I mean, you can hop in this seat if you want to take it out. So I mean, like that sort of stuff. Yeah, I know women like it. I'm cognizant of it. It drives me out of my mind. It drives me out of my mind. The small talk drives me out of my mind. I can't stand it.
But relationships are all about sacrifice.
Yeah, it's always the dude sacrificing. It's always the guy.
With boundaries, right? Because you don't gonna sacrifice yourself in the point that you are not happy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not talking,
Very
but
true.
also at the same time, that's part of the maturity of growing up. Like, it's not an exceptionally difficult load to carry to be like, hey, how's your day? I get it, but I just don't care. So I literally have
So
to.
so be clear since the beginning. Like, you
Oh,
know,
I do.
I don't like to be in this
And
way.
every girl
blah,
says,
blah,
"Oh
blah."
yeah, I don't really like that either." And then the texts start coming in, and then the passive aggressive posts. There was one girl that I was seeing. She's like, she put up this passive aggressive post. It was like a picture of a passage out of a book. It was like, what was the point of that? We could have just stayed We could have just stayed strangers. And I was like, I'll never text.
Do you think, guys, affects like the relationship, the places where you are like going? Like if you go to a club, a nightclub, and you are like everyone is drunk, drugs, blah blah, blah, and you start to like like talk with a chick, and then you're expecting like the most high level relationship from there.
That's fair, and that's a good point. But I'll say the opposite of it, and this is what happened with me and my ex, was, we met at a club. And then when we came, then when we were dating, we would go out, and then we started living together, and she never wanted to go out. And I was like, she's like, I just thought you'd grow out of it. And I was like, this is where we met. We met at the bar. Like, we met doing what I like to do. Like, I thought you liked to do this too.
That's another thing. That's one of the worst places, at least for me, to meet a guy. Like, I hate meeting guys when I'm out. Like, because even though I'm out.
You're just trying to dance for your friends.
Exactly. I'm just trying to have a good time with my friends. Just like, I don't know, because like when I see guys out, like they just like, you can see they're like on a hunt.
They're like,
yeah,
on a
they're
hunt.
like,
That's a
they're
good way to
literally
put it.
on a hunt. And so it's just like, that's another thing with the whole desperate thing I was saying. It's like usually when a guy is out and he's hitting on you, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah,
Please,
like
like,
that's
I'm
their
just
goal
trying
is
to-
to like have fun with you for the night.
Yeah, and also it's like, what, you're just out here every single Saturday? You just go out every single Saturday?
true,
like,
though.
that's just.
Like, there was times when I was playing ball that I had a good girl at home, and it was just like my backup is, looks like he's making headway with the hottest girl at the bar. I was like, no. You don't get the hottest girl.
You're my understudy.
I get the hottest girl at the bar. So, and I would not want nothing to do with that girl, and I'd have a good thing at home. I would try to hook up with you to prove him a point. So
Oh,
like
yeah,
that hunting predator thing is 100% true. There's definitely an aspect of that it's
And
definitely.
I'm not judging the people from the club, right? I was there. It's just like,
Oh, yeah.
it's just like you know, like life works in a crazy way that you never know what's gonna happen, because could it happens that could be a girl like goes to church every Sunday and more, and then at the end it's a little more spicy. You don't know.
She goes to church to pray away the things that she did the rest of the week.
Like it's the balance. It's like that's the reason. I don't know, guys.
So where is a good place for guys to meet girls then? I feel like
That's what I'm
that
asking.
is becoming increasingly difficult. Like, the
I think
things,
the online things aren't bad.
I disagree.
I don't think they're bad. I think it's a way you can stay on your tasks, and it can facilitate, you can go to the gym, you do the thing, you can get home, you don't need to go back out and go to a bar and where you're probably going to drink, do some unhealthy, be up late, and talk to maybe maybe there's 3 girls in there you think are attractive.
Yeah.
Right? Instead, on your phone, you can swipe through 100 on your fucking couch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can facilitate relationships that way. Meet people you wouldn't have the chance to meet by chance encounters.
That's bad too, though,
Yeah.
bro.
Why is that bad?
Because then you go out on a date, you like somebody or something like that, but then part of you is also going like, well, let's see what those other 99 are about. You're not focused in on that person. That person is one of a whole group of people that
disagree.
you have access to, and you're one of a whole group of people she has access to.
I know, and the access and all that stuff nowadays is definitely a thing that can put relationships in jeopardy, where people are thinking the grass is greener, But I think I can speak for me and Castle. Is one of those things where it's like when you know, and when you fucking strike it right. And I think there's fucking millions of married people who probably feel the same way.
I think that's the big takeaway here is no girl wants to be hit on at the club. No girl wants to be hit on at the
No
gym.
girl wants to be hit on at the club.
Well, there's the thing. No girl wants to be hit on at the club. No girl wants to be hit on at the gym. No girl wants to be hit on anywhere by somebody that they don't want to be hit on by. It doesn't matter
Right.
the location.
True.
Shoot
Sure.
your shot, young king. Shoot your shot.
I mean,
You're gonna
yes.
get and if you get turned down by 99, that one might be the one. Go for it. Shoot your shot. Don't let these uptight bitches fucking scare you from shooting your shot at the club. Not like no, don't be a predator. Don't be like the guy that goes to the gym.
don't be a fucking
and then
creep.
don't be a
Just
creep.
don't be creepy.
Don't be
yeah.
a goon who goes from girl to girl like, oh, every day's leg day. Yeah, all right, bro, calm down.
Just be
all right?
respectful. Be confident.
Yeah. Shoot your shot. Look,
Yeah.
the species, you got here because somebody liked your genetics, right? Like your mom gave your dad a shot. You've got winning genetics in you, bud. Just go out there.
That's a good ass way to leave it right there.
You
brother.
got winning
Fucking A.
genetics
There's some-
in you, all right?
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Shoot your shots.
And then look, be honest with yourself. If you're shooting your shot,
And be honest with the person.
yeah.
Tell them what you want. Tell them, you know what I mean? Figure out if that shit aligns. I thought that was good when I said that.
And, you know, it's gotten too easy. Like you used to be able to vet, like with women, like you talked about, like guys are creepy. Back in the day, you used to have to call the home. Now you're too young for this. You used to have to call the home phone. There was no cell phones. There was no texting you. You had to call the home phone and, hey, may I speak with your daughter? What's your name, son? You're like, hi, I'm Jerome. And then you had to show up at the house. You got to ring the doorbell.
See, they don't make them like this anymore.
No, but there is something to
Everything
that, though.
is height now.
There is something to that, though. There sometimes the old ways are not everything about the old ways were bad, man.
Yeah.
Not everything about the old you had to like if you were gonna be a player around town, you had to piss off 5 or 6 dads to get there, you know, and it was.
But hey, I like that. Believe in yourself because someone wanted your genetics before.
Yeah.
And someone's out there to want them again.
You're the sperm that won, son. Act like it.
1 in 3 billion, Sean.
You won, buddy.
All right. Slick and Thick podcast with wonderful Kimmy Castles.
Yep.
Ray, I don't know your last name, so I'm going to just keep calling you Rhianna and Ray.
Okay.
Gracie, is it Gracie? Is it Texera?
You're just guessing Brazilian last
Yeah.
names?
Guess my middle name. You guys would probably guess this one.
Thais?
It's very easy. No. It's a very common, like the Brazilian last name.
Renata,
It's a last name.
Giselle Bunchkin,
Silva.
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 That was my
he was
next
like
one.
3 away.
Tiago Silva, Aldo.
And the wonderful Grande G, Gerard motherfucking Michaels himself. Thanks, guys. Peace.
I'm starving.